One thing that, as far as a goal for our youth ministry is obviously we want to become, be able to communicate with these kids. I mean, we've got, kids from, we go from like 6 to high school, so we've got a broad range, but the most important thing is relationship with the kids.
Help them to learn how to experience God's presence, really, not just something they hear about.
We would be able to create a children's church environment where the kids actually participate with it, whether it's praise and worship, or if they're the ushers or greeters, even prayer warriors. The way that we have the setup with the adults, my vision is that we're able to execute that for the children's ministry as well.
One thing that I always like to say is I want God to be my common denominator. In math, a common denominator is something that every number, every fraction or whatever in that situation has in common. So like, I want these kids to be able to, no matter what they do after youth ministry, no matter what they do after, they leave RCC, wherever, it's college, wherever it may be, if they move, I want them to know that God needs to be the common denominator. So that's something I definitely want to help instill in these kids. So.
Our aim is to please Him always in everything that we do. And the passion for this is to try to reach children with that. When I go home, I still live it. It's like I don't really have, there's not a shut off.
Being able to snatch the opportunity from the enemy to be able to infiltrate our children. The way an athlete trains for a race, that's what I feel we need to do in partnering up with parents to make sure that we are working together to train them. And in that, we take a hold of what the enemy is trying to do in the lives of our children.
We were doing this worship song for graduation, and we practiced the first time, and the kids were all poo-pooing about it to begin with, and then the boys, these two ones that were poo-pooing the most, saying, you know what, I really did feel the presence of God. And I said, that's what happens when you're able to put your body into it. You're able to, put your heart into it. God responds.
Last week, I was talking to one of the parents, and one of the little girls just came and hugged me. She didn't know how how my day went, how the day before, but for me, when she hugged me, it was just a feeling of that I felt was like, thank you, God, because you used them to minister to my heart. And I think that that's the blessing that I walk out of every Sunday, is just being blessed by them, of what God uses in their lives to bless me.